हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम टू माय चैनल डीजी लर्निंग। आज मैं आपके लिए बीएड के पेपर 4 दैट इज लैंग्वेज अक्रॉस द करिकुलम के यूनिट 3 दैट इज रीडिंग राइटिंग कनेक्शंस के पूरे नोट्स लेके आई हूँ। अकॉर्डिंग टू योर कोल्हान सिलेबस, जो भी आपके सिलेबस में जो भी टॉपिक्स है उन सबके नोट्स मैं आज लेके आई हूँ। ठीक है, यू कैन टेक द स्क्रीनशॉट एंड आई एम जस्ट रीडिंग इट फॉर यू. First one, we are going to start with the reading skills. Okay, introduction. Introduction. The word reading implies reading with comprehension. Reading comprehension involves understanding the meaning of content, vocabulary, structures, concepts, and relationship of ideas. Reading like listening is a decoding process, but it is a very complex process involving many physical, intellectual, and often emotional reactions. Moreover, it entails the ability to recognize graphic symbols and their corresponding vocal sounds. Next, importance of reading skills. Of the four language skills listening, speaking, reading, and writing, reading is the most important skill to be developed among the pupils. It is the gateway of learning. The reading skill is directly connected with oral approach to the teaching of English. It is reading which gives the pupil full control over the words and patterns which they first come across during the process of speaking. You can take the screenshot. Next comes to process involved in reading skills. Reading is a process of looking at written or printed symbols and translating them into appropriate sound components. These spoken symbols are associated with the objects which they stand for. Thus, reading consists of the three important elements, namely the symbol, the sound, and the sense. These three elements of a reading can be represented by the three vertices of a triangle as shown here under. See here, 3S of a triangle. 3S means S stands for symbol, sound, and sense. Symbol, sound, and sense. For example, when the pupil wants to read a word like building, he undergoes all the three stages in reading. First, the child looks at the symbol, the object, translates it into a specific sound pattern that stands for the object, and then tries to understand the meaning of the word building. This is how the pupil undertakes the process of reading. पहले देखते हैं हम लोग कि वो क्या लिखा है, उसे समझने की कोशिश करते कि वो लिखा क्या है, फिर हम उसको साउंड में बोलते हैं, लाइक बिल्डिंग, BUILDING बिल्डिंग. पहले हम उसे ऑब्जेक्ट को देख रहे हैं, फिर हम उसे साउंड प्रोनाउंस करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, फिर अपने सेंस में उस वर्ड का व्हाट डज दिस मीन वी आर गोइंग टू. ओके, these three are the process of reading. पहले symbol, then sound, then sense. Next comes to the types of reading. Depending on the nature and purpose, reading may be classified into various categories. बहुत सारी categories है. Let us see. First is the loud reading. Much of the reading to be done at the early stage will be reading aloud. It is necessary to ensure that the child associate the spoken word with the printed symbols correctly. Reading aloud or loud reading provides practice in good speech habits among the children and gives an opportunity for the teacher to find out whether the children are able to read with correct stress, intonation, and pronunciation or not. Okay, this was the loud reading. Next comes to the silent reading. Along with the ability to read aloud, the children may be encouraged to read silently. Most of the reading done at the higher stage of learning will be of this nature only. The purpose of silent reading is to encourage the students read with comprehension. Next, third point, intensive reading or critical reading. Intensive reading or critical reading is done while the students try to gather facts or arrive at some conclusions on the basis of the facts. This is done mostly when the students prepare for the examinations. Okay. This is the extensive reading. Extensive reading is a kind of wide reading based on the large field wherefrom we gather the desired information for the purpose of our survey report. Next comes to the strategies for building reading skills. First is the skimming. Skimming of a lesson means gathering together salient facts contained in it. Skimming of a prose paragraph means going through it and collecting the main points contained therein. Surely the reader is able to take out the best contained there in the lesson or the paragraph. Practice of skimming is very important for the senior students. Okay, this was the first. Next is the scanning. Scanning of a book or a lesson or a paragraph means collecting detailed information contained in the subject matter. The reader goes through the subject matter with searching looks. He or she examines everything very closely so that the reader is not allowed to ignore even a single difficult word contained therein. In scanning, everything good or bad is pointed out. Everything very objectively and in a cry scientific manner is highlighted. Okay, next point is in-depth reading. Read the material using a slower in-depth reading style. Pause frequently to answer the question you have raised, then read on. Read with a pencil and make margin notes or underline words or phrases which are important. Example definitions. Read all of the material including charts and tables. Try to recall the main headings and concepts. Next is the taking notes. Make notes from memory on the sections you have just read. From your reading, organize your ideas. Keep focused while reading. Keep a record of what you read so you can locate it again. Keep a record of what you thought while you were reading. Think critically about what you read. Analyze a text. Engage more effectively with what you read and draw links to other research. Okay? So, these are the strategies for developing the reading skills. Now our reading section is over and we are coming to the writing skills. Okay, I'm reading it. Out of the 4 skills in language learning, writing is a very important skill as it serves as the medium through which we communicate our ideas, thoughts or feelings to other people who are at a distance from us. In fact, language learning is said to be incomplete without developing the skill of writing. Writing aims at facilitating clear and effective communication. It trains our mind through our senses, particularly through eyes and ears. We write in the way we speak or hear from others. Writing develops our memory and the process of thinking. It develops individual activity. Next comes to the importance of writing skill. For a second language learner, writing in the second language is used for specific purposes, whereas his mother tongue or first language is used for all other general purposes. Proficiency in writing in the second language is required to communicate to the other person in the written medium when they cannot be spoken to directly, to make a record of events in a specific field, and to prepare documents, records, reports, etc., which may be used as reference in the future. Next is the writing for various purposes. For what purposes we used to write? ठीक है? और कैसे लिखते हैं? Let's see. First is the expansion of idea. Generally, an idea is explained in 1 or 2 paragraphs unless it's an essay. To explain an idea, the central rule is not to take more than one idea simultaneously. This will ruin the purpose and ideas would fall apart. While writing, the topic must be stated clearly, else readers won't be able to follow the logical progression. After the topic statement, supporting explanation must follow logically. Next is the report writing. There are different reasons for report writing: to present information such as lab report or financial report, to present research findings, and to analyze a problem and then recommend a particular action or strategy. A report can be long or short, formal or informal. The style and vocabulary choice will depend on who is going to read your report and the level of understanding or expertise. Essentially, a report is a short, sharp, concise document which is written for a particular purpose and audience. It generally sets out and analyzes a situation or problem, often making recommendations for future action. It is a factual paper and needs to be clear and well structured. Next comes to the paragraph writing. Paragraph writing helps children learn how to think and write, focusing on one theme. It is a good exercise for encouraging young children to express themselves coherently and also forms the basis for essay writing. It is advisable to ask children to write about things that they find relevant to their lives. These paragraphs can vary in length according to the age, writing, and understanding of children. Next is the explanatory notes. The explanatory notes appear in line within the text, and the frequency and occurring of such notes depends on the writing style of the author as well as the field of study. Now comes to the presenting information in various form. First is the diagram. Diagrams are a common graphical way of representing information. Process and ideas can often be summarized more effectively in diagrammatic form than in words. As a learner, you need to be comfortable with reading graphical information. You also need to learn how to read diagrams in the sense of extracting information from them and interpreting what they mean. Next is a chart. A chart is a type of diagram used to summarize large amount of numerical information in a graphical form. Charts also provide a useful way of showing relationships between different values. Third is the pie charts. Pie charts are generally used to show percentage or proportional data, and usually the percentage represented by each category is provided next to the corresponding slice of pie. The last one is the histogram. A histogram is only used to plot the frequency of score occurrences in a continuous data set that has been divided into classes called bins. Now comes to the writing process. How to write. Writing process. पहले what to do and what not to do, let's say. First is the pre-writing or gathering information. The writer generates ideas to write about and begins developing these ideas. For outlining a structure of ideas, the writer determines the overall organizational structure of the writing and creates an outline to organize ideas. Usually, this step involves some additional fleshing out of the ideas generated in the first step. Next is drafting. The writer uses the work completed in pre-writing to develop a first draft. The draft covers the ideas the writer brainstormed and follows the organizational plan that was laid out in the first step. Third is the revising. The writer revisits the drafting to review and, if necessary, reshapes its content. This stage involves moderate and sometimes major changes, adding or deleting a paragraph, phrasing the main point differently, expanding on an important ideas, reorganizing content, and so forth. Next is the finalizing. The writer reviews the draft to make additional changes. Writer may edit, which involves making changes to improve style and adherence to standard writing conventions. For instance, replacing a vague word with a more precise one or fixing errors in grammar and, and spellings. Once this stage is complete, the work is a finished piece and ready to share with others. Now, next comes to the reading and writing connection. Evidence shows that high quality writing instructions can improve students' reading comprehension, reading fluency, and word solving skills. Writing about reading makes comprehension visible. It also helps readers frame and focus their understanding. Indeed, asking students to write about their reading may provide the best window into their reading process and comprehension. The NCT policy brief on reading and writing across the curriculum states that discipline based instruction in reading and writing enhances students' achievement in all subjects. We are here. Okay, मैं भी नीचे कर रही हूँ page. Okay, from here we'll start. Without strategies for reading, quotes, material, and opportunities to write thoughtfully about it, students have difficulty mastering concepts. Okay, you can take the screenshot. Here are 4 insights into the connection between reading and writing as shared by the Steve Graham, 2010. First, we combine reading and writing for functional purpose because they draw upon similar knowledge bases. Second, when students write about a text they are reading, whether that be responding to questions, taking notes, or summarizing the material, this also helps them to better understand and retain the material they are reading. Third point, reading and writing instruction need not to be kept separate. When combined, there are positive effects both in terms of students learning to write and in terms of students to learning to read. Last point, reading and writing are both acts of a communication. As students become skilled readers, they notice more than just the content of the text. Readers potentially observe sentence and paragraph structures, variations in pacing and recurring themes. These observations causes the reader to employ metacognitive skills and try to get inside the writer's head. Thus, researchers have shown high correlation between writing and reading. This means students who write well also read well. Therefore, practice in writing helps children build their reading skills. Next comes to the concept of summarizing. A summary is a brief statement or account of the main point of something. Writing a good summary indicates that you have clearly understood a text and that you can effectively communicate that understanding to your readers. It is a technical skill that demonstrates reading, comprehension, and writing ability. A well written summary is not an analysis of the text but rather condensed overview of the original piece. Summarizing is one of the important study skills. It is a shortened version of the text written in one's own language. A summary always covers the essential points of an original text. The beauty of the summary is that it presents large portions of information in short, cohesive sentences. A summary can be used to sum up information, to present information cohesively, to state the main points without detailed information, to refer to a body of work, to give examples of several points of view. Next is the note making. We make notes when we read text, lesson, printed materials. It is short and is written in one's own language. Abbreviations and symbols can be used when we make notes. It has long-term utility. It focuses on the central idea or the points that are important. It is a good aid to remember the points to be developed. It helps to keep a record of what is read so that we can trace it again for our use. It helps us to think about what we have read. It allows us to bring cohesion in our writing. It is a good documentation of what we have read. It improves our study habits. It also enhances our memory. It helps us to prepare before the lecture. It also helps in organizing one's ideas and think critically and analytically about what we are reading. So these are the points, and we have completed the unit 3. If you like the video, then please like, share and subscribe it. And if you want anything, और अगर आपको notes में कहीं कुछ doubt है या if you want any other notes, then please write it in the comment box. Thank you for watching.